Liverpool unbeaten in 19, Arsenal unbeaten in 13. But is that enough, Micah, given the pace that Liverpool are setting? Do they have to turn some of these draws into victories?
Yeah, I think you're looking at that Chelsea you expect, but you go down to maybe the Fulham. Fulham have been doing so well, but the Everton game, that's the game that they should have won. It felt like a bad one for Arsenal at the time, but I think today is a massive game, not just because they're playing against Man City, but they can put a marker down. If they were to win today, that would give them belief to think we can win the Premier League. I don't think they will. I've said it from Christmas time. I think Liverpool are just so strong. I think Liverpool are managing to win games and not having to play that well. I think their key players in Van Dijk and Salah, even Gravenberch in midfield have just been the difference. But they can lay, a marker down today. I'm excited to see how the game pans out. Have
we seen, Thierry, this problem developing for Arsenal, if you like, this season? They don't seem to have any problem putting away the weaker sides in the division. If you look on the right-hand side there, they've won 11 of 12 games against the bottom half. But against the top half, just 2 wins so far in 11. And those 7 draws. And just to put that in a bit of context, the champions over the last 10 seasons average about 5 draws. Arsenal have got to 8. Already. Is this what's going to cost them?
It's not so much about a draw. Obviously, the one against Villa was very hurtful. We can remember Everton, as Micah mentioned that just before. But for me, it's about in crucial moments in games. And I know it didn't happen this year, but last year against Villa, this year against Brighton, I saw a team who was thinking way more of Mitoma against Brighton than winning the game. Winners win. You're going to have to eventually, obviously, you play against Mitoma. You can't have you being on the ball and don't have the offensive balance right. We understand that, but you can't think about Mitoma more than you winning the game. Same last year against Villa. 67 minutes, you take Odegaard off to put Jorginho on to win the game. It's 0-0. Winners win. And the big coaches and the big team in the history finish with 4 strikers or 3 strikers or try to win the game. So I think that's something that we don't do well at times. I'm not talking about when we're losing or when we're winning and it's clear to see who you need to change and what needs to happen. I'm talking about the 0-0, the 1-1, 15 minutes to go. And I think sometimes we're thinking more about let's not lose it than going to win it.
Well, Thierry, I said, I think the last time probably I was here a couple of months ago, I mentioned the fact that Mikel Arteta, it almost feels to me like the Arsenal team's almost... The similarities, let's say that, to a sort of a Jose Mourinho type of trying to win. Now, Jose Mourinho's type of winning, you can still win that, but do you think there's almost like a lack of adventure from Arsenal when they're in, the game states in a tight situation?
I think after the first title that we lost against Man City, I think it did hurt a lot of people at the club, especially Mikel, and you saw that he went into big games a different way. Before it was all offensive and suddenly it became a bit more, let's not concede and then we can always score, to now being a team that's very good on set pieces, by the way, and is outstanding. Let's not be upset about that. But it's not the same way. Odegaard used to run the show. He doesn't run the show anymore. He's not, the ball doesn't go to him often. He goes way quicker on the wings at times to try to maybe find a corner or a free kick. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that did hurt, I think, Mikel and Arsenal that first year, because you could see, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but it's very important. You cannot go to win a title and think about not losing games in big moments.
Very interesting to see their approach today against a City side that some would say, Micah, are showing signs of a resurrection.
I mean, they've been a lot better recently. You see the results here. I think that Leicester game, Leicester actually could have scored a few goals. West Ham, similar, but they got over the line. Brentford, I mean, they give up that 2-0 lead, didn't they? Ipswich was a good win. And then Chelsea last week, but remember that chance with Cole Palmer? They could have went 2-0 up, could have been the difference. I think they're still struggling, especially in the midfield, obviously missing Rodri, but it's the energy for me with Man City. I think at times, a lot of people would say they're more interesting to watch now because at times people branded them boring, but I just think they're missing something in that midfield area. I think at times they're too easy to play against. Don't stop crosses, but yeah, it's interesting. Let's see today.